Before we begin, this video discusses murder, online predators, and violence against women. Viewer discretion is advised. A college student, a late-night meeting, and one decision that would change everything. Today on Red Flag Files, we're honoring Mackenzie Lueck, a bright, ambitious young woman whose life was cut tragically short. But more importantly, we're examining the warning signs that were there, the red flags that went unnoticed, and the lessons that could protect you or someone you love. This is a story about trust, online safety, and why the rules we sometimes think are outdated exist for a reason. Welcome to Red Flag Files. Mackenzie Lueck was born on March 9, 1996, in El Segundo, California. She was 23 years old, vibrant, full of life, and chasing her dreams with determination. Those who knew Mackenzie described her as adventurous, independent, and genuinely kind. She had a smile that could light up a room and an infectious energy that drew people to her. Mackenzie was a senior at the University of Utah, studying kinesiology and pre-nursing. She had her sights set on becoming a nurse, a career where her caring nature could make a real difference in people's lives. Mackenzie was close with her family. She had recently returned home to California for her grandmother's funeral, a woman she deeply loved and who had been a guiding force in her life. Friends remember her as someone who balanced her studies with an active social life. She loved fashion, fitness, and was always up for trying new experiences. But like many young adults today, Mackenzie also had an active online presence. She was on social media, dating apps, and what some might call sugar dating sites, platforms where she connected with people she'd never met in person. To her friends and family, Mackenzie seemed happy, confident, and in control of her life. She was independent, living on her own, making her own choices. No one could have imagined that one of those choices, meeting someone from the internet, would end in tragedy. On June 17, 2019, Mackenzie was returning to Salt Lake City from her grandmother's funeral in California. She landed at Salt Lake City International Airport at 1:35 a.m., an unusual hour, but not uncommon for budget flights. Here's where the timeline becomes critical. At 2:58 a.m., a Lyft driver picked Mackenzie up from the airport. She seemed normal, calm, checking her phone like any other passenger. The driver would later tell investigators that Mackenzie directed him to Hatch Park in North Salt Lake, a small neighborhood park with no lighting at that hour. It was nearly 3 o'clock in the morning. The park was completely dark, and Mackenzie was being dropped off to meet someone she had connected with online. The Lyft driver watched as Mackenzie got out of the car and walked toward another vehicle waiting in the parking lot. He saw her get in. Then he drove away. That was the last confirmed sighting of Mackenzie Lueck alive. The disappearance. When Mackenzie didn't show up for work on June 20th, her friends began to worry. She wasn't answering texts or calls, completely unlike her. By June 23rd, her family reported her missing. Police began investigating immediately. They tracked her phone records and discovered that her phone had been turned off or destroyed shortly after 3 a.m. on June 17th, right around the time she arrived at Hatch Park. Investigators pulled the data from her Lyft ride. They identified the park. They began reviewing surveillance footage from nearby homes. And that's when they found him. 31-year-old Ayoola Ajayi. Who was Ayoola Ajayi? Ajayi was an IT specialist who lived in Salt Lake City. On the surface, he seemed normal, educated, employed, active in his community. But beneath that surface, there were disturbing patterns that most people didn't see. Mackenzie had connected with Ajayi on a dating app called Seeking Arrangement, a platform often used for sugar dating relationships. They had been texting for weeks, discussing meeting in person. On that early morning of June 17th, Ajayi picked Mackenzie up from Hatch Park and drove her back to his home. What happened next is almost too horrific to comprehend. The investigation unfolds. As police closed in on Ajayi, they made disturbing discoveries. A neighbor reported seeing a fire in Ajayi's backyard the morning of June 17th. A fire that burned for hours and smelled like gasoline and something else. Something awful. When investigators searched his property, they found charred remains buried in the backyard. DNA testing would confirm they were Mackenzie's. Ajayi had taken her life shortly after she arrived at his home. He burned her body, buried the remains, and tried to cover up the evidence. Phone records showed he had researched how to dispose of a body. He had purchased a shovel and gasoline just hours after Mackenzie arrived. The rest. On June 28, 2019, Ayoola Ajayi was arrested and charged with aggravated murder, kidnapping, obstruction of justice, and desecration of a body. The evidence was overwhelming. Surveillance footage, phone records, forensic evidence from his property, and his own internet searches. In October 2020, facing the death penalty, Ajayi pleaded guilty to aggravated murder and desecration of a body. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Mackenzie's case isn't just a tragedy, it's a teaching moment. There were red flags here, patterns that we all need to recognize. Let's break them down. Red flag number 1. Meeting a stranger alone at 3 a.m. in an isolated location. This is the most critical red flag. Mackenzie arranged to meet someone she had never met in person at a dark, empty park in the middle of the night. There were no witnesses, no public space, no safety net. When meeting someone from online, whether it's a date, a sale, or any other reason, the first meeting should always be in a public place, during daylight hours or well-lit evening hours. Somewhere with other people around. Never at your home or their home. Red flag number 2. Not telling anyone where you're going. There's no evidence that Mackenzie told her friends or family specifically who she was meeting or where. This meant that when she went missing, precious time was lost figuring out what happened. Red flag number 3. The platform itself. Seeking arrangement and similar sugar dating sites create inherently risky dynamics. While not everyone using these platforms has bad intentions, they do attract predators specifically because they know users are often younger and more vulnerable. Meeting strangers for money or gifts, sometimes keeping these meetings secret. Willing to go to private locations. Red flag number 4. The late-night meeting after emotional vulnerability. Mackenzie had just buried her grandmother. She was emotionally exhausted, grieving, and landing at nearly 2 a.m. These factors can cloud judgment and make someone more susceptible to poor decision-making. Red flag number 5. Immediate isolation. Ajayi suggested meeting at a dark park and then going back to his house. There was no public first meeting, no coffee shop date, no gradual building of trust in safe spaces. He wanted her isolated immediately. This is a predatory pattern. Dangerous people don't want witnesses or cameras or other people around. What Mackenzie couldn't have known. Ajayi had a history that would have raised alarms. He had been accused of sexual assault by multiple women, though never convicted. He had a pattern of meeting women online and becoming aggressive. Neighbors had reported strange behavior. He had researched violent topics online. But Mackenzie had no way to access this information. That's the danger of meeting strangers online. You're trusting someone based on a profile and text messages, not real knowledge of who they are. Mackenzie's death was not her fault. Let me say that clearly, she did not deserve what happened to her. The only person responsible for her murder is Ayoola Ajayi. But there are lessons here that could save lives. Lesson 1. First meetings must be public. If you're meeting someone from online for the first time, follow this rule without exception. Coffee shops, restaurants, shopping centers, any place with lots of people and security cameras. Never a park at night. Never their home. Never your home. Not on the first, second, or even third meeting. Lesson 2. Tell someone where you're going. Before meeting anyone from online, tell a friend or family member who you're meeting. Share the person's profile information. Share your location in real time using your phone's location sharing feature. Agree on a check-in time. Set up a system. If you don't hear from me by X time, call the police. Lesson 3. Trust your gut. If someone pushes to meet in a private location, wants to meet very late at night, gets aggressive when you suggest public places, tries to rush intimacy or isolation, that's a red flag. Someone with good intentions will understand and respect your safety concerns. Lesson 4. Research who you're meeting. Before meeting someone from online, reverse image search their photos. Google their name and phone number. Check social media profiles for consistency. Video chat before meeting in person to confirm they are who they say they are. Ask mutual friends if possible. Lesson 5. The sugar dating risk. While I'm not here to judge anyone's choices, it's important to be honest about risk. Sugar dating relationships inherently involve meeting strangers for money or gifts, and that dynamic attracts predators who know users might keep meetings secret from family/friends. Be more willing to go to private locations. Be in vulnerable financial situations. If you choose to use these platforms, the safety rules become even more critical, not less. Lesson 6. Emotional state matters. When you're grieving, tired, stressed, or emotionally vulnerable, your judgment can be impaired. Mackenzie had just lost her grandmother. She landed after midnight. These weren't ideal conditions for making safety-critical decisions. If you're in a vulnerable emotional state, postpone meeting new people until you're in a better headspace. Here are specific steps you can take today to protect yourself or someone you love. For yourself, before the meeting, screenshot the person's profile and send it to a trusted friend. Share their phone number with someone. Set up real-time location sharing on your phone. Arrange a check-in time with a friend. Trust your instincts. If something feels off, cancel. During the meeting, meet in a busy public place during daylight. Drive yourself or use your own transportation. Keep your phone charged and accessible. Don't accept drinks you didn't watch being made. Don't go to a secondary location on the first meeting. If you feel uncomfortable, leave immediately. Red flags to watch for. They avoid video calls before meeting. Their photos seem fake or overly professional. They pressure you to meet in private. They get angry when you suggest public places. Their story doesn't add up or keeps changing. They ask overly personal questions too quickly. For parents and friends, have honest conversations about online safety without judgment. Create a code word your loved one can text if they need help. Encourage location sharing for all first meetings. Normalize safety protocols. Make it clear that being cautious is smart, not paranoid. Stay informed about the platforms and apps young people are using. The check-in system. Create this with friends. I'm meeting someone from online tonight at 7 p.m. at location. Here's their profile. Screenshot. I'll text you by 9 p.m. to say I'm safe. If you don't hear from me, call me. If I don't answer, call police. This simple system could save your life. Mackenzie Lueck was only 23 years old. She had her whole life ahead of her, a nursing career, travel plans, dreams she'll never get to fulfill. Her family lost a daughter, a sister, a friend. The world lost someone with so much to offer. We honor Mackenzie not just by remembering her story but by learning from it. By protecting ourselves and the people we love. By recognizing red flags before it's too late. If this video taught you something that could keep you or someone you care about safe, please share it. Subscribe to Red Flag Files to learn the warning signs in more cases. And remember, your safety is never something to compromise on. Stay safe out there. And honor Mackenzie by making different choices than she was able to make that night. Thank you for watching.